Hello, Scorpios, and welcome to this, your March 1st through March 15th reading and predictions. For those of you who are new here, thank you so much for trusting and clicking on this video. And for those of you who are returning, thank you so much for continuing to follow this channel and support this channel. Now, before I dive into your reading, I apologize, but I do need to do this. If you look at the number of subscribers that I have, this close to being monetized after 2 years of putting up videos and content. So if you wouldn't mind subscribing, helping me out. Also, for those of you who are not familiar with YouTube's algorithms, please watch this video all the way to the end. There are two reasons for this. One is because I have a gift for you at the end. And the second reason is because it's not just about the number of subscribers, it is also about the number of watch hours. So please watch the video so that there will be credit given for the watch hours. All right, at the very end of this video, how many of us go through life and we have all these questions that we just need to go, oh my God, is it yes or no? Which way do I go? Yes or no? And so at the end of this video, I do have a deck that exclusively has yes and no cards in it. So I will be allowing you the opportunity to pose your question in your mind's eye, and I will be pulling cards from the yes no deck. So, as a general yes or no out to the Scorpios at the end of this reading. All right, Scorpio, now I'm just going to dive into my notes. The last reading that I did for you covering the time frame February 15th through February 29th. The Hanged Man showed up in your reading. Now, the Hanged Man is about asking you to see things from a different perspective. Perhaps you had been going through life with your blinders on, looking around, and there was something that you were missing. So, the last reading that I did for you showed that your blinders had come off and that there had been a spiritual awakening. Let's dive into some cards. We are going to start with the Lightseer Tarot, and the first cards that we're going to pull for you, Scorpio, are going to be where you are at now. What's coming up for you now as I sit and do this reading for you at the end of February? All right. All right, so we just have the one card that has come out for you for where you are at now, and it is the Seven of Cups. Now, the Seven of Cups is a card that lets us know that we may be verging on a decision or a choice that might be going into fantasy type territory. Like perhaps we're not ready for what it is that we are working towards or the decision that we're trying to make. So you'll notice on this card, the character has all of these cups upside down, and it's like that game that people play where they put like a little peanut or something underneath a bowl, and then you move all of them around and you have to try and keep track, and you have to guess which bowl the peanut is under, and then you win a prize. But the issue with living our life this way, where we're constantly guessing, grasping at straws. Oh my gosh, what do I pick? Oh, I don't know which way to go. Can lead us into that point at which we're like, oh, I'm just going to pick one and I'm just going to go with it, regardless of whether it even doesn't feel right. And you can actually almost get to the point where you go into fantasy land too, where you believe that perhaps the choice that you've made that was completely random, that didn't feel right in the moment, was the right choice, and you're going to make $1,000,000 tomorrow. And yeah, and you just kind of go off there in that fantasy unicorn, rainbows, and sparkles world. So it may be, Scorpio, that with this spiritual awakening that you're having, with your blindfolds coming off last month and you seeing the world from a different perspective, it may be that you have a whole lot of choices being presented to you right now. Choices where you can become a coach overnight and it's only going to be $397 if you buy it right now. You can earn $3,000 extra a month just by opening envelopes just send us $100 and do you see what I'm saying? Like there's a lot of stuff that comes up when we have spiritual awakenings. One of the things that happens, and you're going to laugh and you're going to be like, some of you are sitting there going, she's off her rocker. I don't know where she's going with this, but trust me, just stick around for just a moment. When we have spiritual awakenings, we open up our energy to be able to see more of what's going on around us. Unfortunately, there are leeches that sense when that happens. And the reality is that when that happens, we are vulnerable. We have not experienced these types of energies, these types of opportunities. We're seeing things that are new and bright and shiny, and we're not quite sure how to handle it. And that makes us vulnerable to leeches and to people who just want to take advantage of our newly found perspectives. That's what this Seven of Cups is saying, is it is a positive card in the sense that it is letting us know that there's a whole bunch of new opportunities that have opened up for us and a whole bunch of new choices that we could make. But the caveat to that is be careful of the opportunities that are presented and make sure that you're not going after all of the bright and shinies just because they're bright and shiny. Let's move into what you are focusing on. Where are you putting your energies? Oh, you have another 7. So I would say, given that you have um, the first 2 cards that dove out of the decks, and there's 2 different decks here that I'm using, of course. You have the 7 of Cups, and now you have the 7 of Wands coming out. I would say, Scorpio, watch for the 7th of March. There is something definitely, absolutely coming up with the number 7. You might want to watch for 7 o'clock, 7 p.m., 7 a.m., the 7th of the month. If a group of 7 people get together, watch for a change or a shift in dynamics. Watch for a change or a shift in your perception when 7s are coming up for you. You might even watch for 7s, taking Highway 7, taking Highway 77, something like that. But definitely watch for 7s because they are going to be prominent for you as you move through the beginning parts of March. Now, this card in what you are focusing on is the 7 of Wands. The 7 of Wands is a card of take action. It is ruled by the element of fire. Whenever the element of fire appears, it means we want to move. We don't want to, get caught with a fire lit underneath us. But the 7 of Wands is a challenge card. It's a card of feeling like, okay, I found my truth. I've finally made my decision. I know exactly what it is I want to do and the direction I'm going to take. And this is a card indicating that some people may go, yeah, but, yeah, but. And they're going to question your tenacity or your commitment to your choice. Is this a bad thing? No, absolutely not. And in fact, for those of you who are not familiar, I have written a book. My book is called Memoirs of a Single Traveling Mom. And one of the tenets in my book is on the road of life, you are going to hit speed bumps and you're going to hit roadblocks. If you are hitting speed bumps, that is the universe's way of testing you to make sure that you are committed to the path that you are currently walking. If you are hitting roadblocks, you're on the wrong road. The 7 of Wands is the card of speed bumps, not roadblocks. There are other cards that indicate roadblocks. This one is speed bumps. This is one where you've made a choice, you've made a decision, you think that you're committed to it, and then everybody comes along and poops on your parade and says, yeah, but, oh my God, I can't believe you do. They're little tests. That's all they are. Next, you have the 8 of Cups. The Eight of Cups coming up right next to the Seven of Wands. The Seven of Wands, like I mentioned, is about people possibly challenging you and testing you and saying, are you sure you want to do this? The Eight of Cups is the card of walk away from that which no longer serves your highest good. Walk away from those who are not going to support you in your new endeavors. And finally, you have the Ace of Cups. This is what you are focusing on. Ace of Cups is about new beginnings. It's about being magical. It's about new emotional connections to new people who are coming along and who are going to support you and not challenge you on this journey. Let's move on to what is challenging you. Challenges and difficult influences for Scorpio. Challenges and difficult influences for Scorpio. Whoa! Okay, that was exciting. Let's collect up all these cards that came flying out. Okay. In your challenges, you have the Temperance card. The Temperance card is about balance. It is about tempering our reactions to certain people. And given that this has come up in your difficult influences, it's an indication, Scorpio, that when your resolve and your dedication are being questioned to your decision to start something new and your decision to start something new, you may be tempted to have a reaction that might be a little bit over the top or what might be considered a little bit inappropriate. This is a card inviting you to walk into this new endeavor with balance and with patience, with allowing other people to catch up to you. Let's put it that way. Because if we put it that way, it's got a very positive spin on it from your ego's point of view. Okay. The reason that sometimes we have knee jerk reactions to somebody questioning if our choice was right is because of our ego. But if you twist that a little bit and realize that the reason people are questioning you is out of their own fear to move, their own fear to take the blinders off, their own fear to make choices that are for their own highest good. And when we look at it from that perspective, it feeds our own ego without being egotistical. They are just on a different level of their journey from where you are on your journey. And you're not coming from a place of ego. You're not thinking, "Oh, I'm better than them," because look at it from a linear point of view. They're on a different path. So, yeah, if somebody's questioning you, if they're challenging you about your choices and your decisions right now, Scorpio, just approach it with some temperance, with some balance, with some patience. Allow them their path. You have also the Eight of Wands. Now, the Eight of Wands is the card that indicates there might be some travel, but it also indicates that you may have thrown a few too many balls up in the air. You're being challenged by multitasking at this time with this card coming up. Also, the Eight of Wands is oftentimes refers to travel. This came up in your difficult influences. And so what's coming up for me, Scorpio, is that you may be being presented with an opportunity to do some more travel, and yet you're questioning how that's going to affect your family life. And so I encourage you to explore that block and why you think your family is not going to support you in an opportunity to be able to travel. But like I said, this card also indicates you may be feeling a little bit like you've thrown a lot of things up in the air and now you're trying to juggle a little bit too much. You have the Knight of Cups in your difficult influences, and the Knight of Cups. Um, it's a card of self acceptance. When our choices and our decisions with the Seven of Cups and the Seven of Wands are being challenged, we really, really need this Eight of Cups. We need to walk away from those people that are challenging us, or we need to have temperance and patience with those people. And the Knight of Cups is reinforcing that for us. Um, the Knight of Cups is a friend who's going to be honest with you, but the Knight of Cups coming up in your difficult influences is more about your self-acceptance. And finally, in your difficult influences, you have the Moon. The moon is about phases and cycles, right? We have a dark side of the moon, the light side of the moon. The moon is full, the moon is new. We have these phases and cycles. And so you are being reminded at this time, Scorpio, that whatever it is you're going through, whatever challenges you're going through, whatever it is that you need to let go of in order to be able to move forward, if your patience is being challenged at this time, it's a phase. And when you look at it from that perspective, it makes it that much. I'm not going to say easier because some phases are just not easy, but it does make it a bit more comprehensible on some different level for us. So basically, the first three sections of cards that I've pulled for you, where you're at now, needing to make this decision, potentially having too many balls up in the air or too many choices. And then again, you've got this Eight of Wands here coming in, plus possibly too much up in the air. You've got the Eight of Cups. I do want to point out you've got two eights and two sevens in your reading, so pay attention to 7 and 8. Maybe something's going to happen between the 7th and the 8th of the month. The Ace of Cups is here. You've got a new beginning, but you've got challenges. And I do feel like the vast majority of challenges that you have here, Scorpio, are external. It's someone else, someone whom you are emotionally attached to. And the reason I say that is because in the tarot, we have the Queen of Swords. Her message is walk away from that which no longer serves you. You have the Eight of Cups, which is walk away from that which no longer serves you. You have the Death card, which is walk away from that which no longer serves you. But the walk away is on different levels. So the Queen of Swords, for example, is asking you to walk away on an intellectual level. But the Eight of Cups is about walking away from something you are emotionally invested in, you are emotionally attached to. And so what I'm picking up is that someone that you respect emotionally, that you are linked to emotionally, now this may be a family member or it may be a romantic partner, is seriously questioning your spiritual awakening. They are questioning your choices and decisions right now. And that's causing you to question yourself. There's no reason to question yourself. The cards that you had last month showed that you were having a huge spiritual awakening. You were able to see things from a new and different perspective. It's just going to take a little while longer, patience card, temperance card here, for everyone else around you to catch up. Messages from the universe, messages the universe wants you to hear at this time. All right, one of them went on the floor. Darn it. I was kind of hoping that wasn't going to happen. All right, we have 3 messages that have popped out. Okay, the very first message that popped out for you was have an attitude of gratitude. Let me just reseat myself here. Have an attitude of gratitude, right? So be grateful for the experiences that you've had in your spiritual awakening and be grateful even for the person that is questioning and challenging you, because it helps you to be able to see more clearly. And I know that sounds crazy if you haven't actually achieved that yet, but it's coming for you, Scorpio. This level of understanding. And this is, I've started a new feature where I'm looking into some shadow work. I'm going to do some shorter videos on shadow work, but essentially, you're on the tipping point of getting into doing some shadow work as well. So have an attitude of gratitude for everything in your life, for this new awakening, for the blinders coming off, for people questioning you. All of these things are gratitude worthy. Moving into express your feelings. Nothing wrong with that. Make sure you're expressing your feelings. And finally, and this is really the crux of your whole reading, Scorpio, your beliefs are right for you. If someone else is questioning your beliefs, they're your beliefs. They're yours, and therefore they are right for you. Own them. All right, let's look into what is unexpected, coming up as unexpected. Oh, don't fall on the floor. All right. In your unexpected, Scorpio, you have the Five of Wands. The Five of Wands is the card that says totality on it. Is about going all in. If you are making a choice, Seven of Cups, making a choice, making a decision. When you make a choice, again, your choices and decisions are being questioned. When you make a choice or a decision, go all in, totality, commit. That's how we succeed. That's how we use the law of attraction. Yes, I'm going to use the, you know, buzzword way overused, etc., etc. But the reality is that if you want to be able to manifest in your life, you have to commit to your decisions. So commit, totality, go all in. And you have the Eight of Pentacles. You have yet another eight. This would be the third eight in your reading, Scorpio. So again, pay attention to 7's and 8's for the first half of March. This is the card of they call it ordinariness, but what it actually is coming into finding a routine, coming into finding your pace and what works for you, particularly when it comes to work and career, because this is Pentacles. The rainbows are the suit of Pentacles, but it's about finding that balance everywhere in our lives. The Temperance card came out for you. It is about finding our own step, finding our own purpose. This is what works. Finding our own routines. Okay. And let's look at your final overall outcome. And then we're going to get to your yes, no questions. Final overall outcome for Scorpio. I love it. You got one of the most positive cards in the entire deck. The next one landed upside down. I can't read it. Is there anything else coming out? Yes, there is. You have 4 cards coming out in your overall outcome. I love it. I love it. I love it. You have an absolutely beautiful, amazing overall outcome here, Scorpio. You do have a repeat card here. You have the Eight of Cups. How many eights is that in your reading now? You have the Eight of Cups twice. There is absolutely something that you need to walk away from. You have the Eight of Pentacles and you had the Eight of Wands over here. But you do have the Eight of Cups coming in again. And let me just remind you, Eight of Cups is about walking away from something that you have been emotionally attached to in the past. You have the Six of Cups. The Six of Cups presents a challenge to you when you have it right next to the Eight of Cups. And they did come out right next to each other. The reason being is the Six of Cups is the card of nostalgia. It's the card of seeing life through rose-colored glasses. I used this example once in someone else's reading. I believe it was actually this month. That the Six of Cups is the card of I'm going out for a couple of drinks with my friends, and after a couple of drinks, I start reminiscing about the past and thinking, oh, it wasn't so bad. I'm going to call my ex. He really wasn't such a bad person after all. That is what this card represents when it comes up against the Eight of Cups. You need to walk away from the past. Leave the past where it belongs. Walk away. It's okay to reminisce. It's okay to remember the past fondly, so long as you're not taking action on it. Okay? The next two cards that you have are the Queen of Wands and the Star. Queen of Wands is the queen who likes to take action. Again, just a reminder that wands are fire. The Queen of Wands is the queen of action. She makes a choice, she makes a decision, and she is going after it, and nothing is going to get in her way. And you have the Star. So, a couple of things with the Star. The Star is about the stars shining down upon you and bringing good health, bringing wealth, bringing all of these things to you, but it is also your reminder that you yourself are a star seed. Whether you buy into this fully, deeply, completely or not, the reality is that we are all part of the stars. We might be on this big blue ball that is hurtling through space, but this big blue ball is made up of old star material, and we're made up of what's on this big blue ball. So, I mean, I'm not going to get into this with you right now, Scorpio, but just look into deeply what a truly amazing being you are as a human, as a spiritual being having a human experience. Tap deeply into that. And with that, I'm going to close off your reading. The Star is considered one of the happiest cards in the deck. There are basically four cards that are considered the happiest cards in the deck, and the Star is one of them. So this is an indication that as much as your decisions, your truths are being challenged by others, that's their path to walk. Stay true, stay dedicated, go all in to the path that you have chosen. And if necessary, walk away from those people who are challenging you. All right, Scorpio, please bring to mind your yes, no question. Some people like to close their eyes and ask their question quietly in their mind once or twice as I shuffle the cards. We will wait until a card jumps out for Scorpio, yes or no. Ask your question a couple more times. And there we go. Okay, Scorpio, in response to your yes, no question, the answer is right now is not the right time. Not the right time. Okay. All right, Scorpios, thank you so much for watching all the way until the end of this video. I greatly appreciate each and every one of you. If you wouldn't mind hitting that like button, subscribing to the channel, and as well, if you are interested in a private consultation with me, all of my contact details are down below. Thank you so much, everyone.